Hi, welcome to Queens Talking Reality. I'm Farron, this is
Elisa.
Please like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Today we'll be recapping, talking the tea, the gossip, the drama, everything about Housewives of Potomac. We're about to go live.
Watch us now.
So today was the reunion of Housewives of Potomac Part 1. Let's get right into it. So it started out with them showing Robyn's situation with Juan and the other woman. So obviously this happened after the reunion. Andy and the editors decided to put that in there because the reunion happened 2 weeks after. No, wait, 2 weeks before Robyn decided to go on her podcast and talk about Juan cheating on her behind.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice that they put that in there, but I don't know if I was really interested in watching the reunion because I felt like Robyn is gonna lie her whole way out of this reunion. Because now
absolutely, and I feel like the editors put it in there like to show that they're unhappy. Like they threw that in there, showing like they not feeling Robyn right now. Like they have. If I was the producer, I would do the same thing. I would have her on edge and then fire her. Like, so I think that's what they're leading up to. I don't know. I think she should be fired with this, her little shenanigans that she pulled. I would fire her, but I would keep her on edge. And then they were saying too in some of the Facebook groups that a lot of like promotion and stuff that they put on about Potomac. You know how we put up promos about Potomac and we'll put up little previews. They were saying that Bravo's like copyrighting everybody that puts up like anything Potomac as far as like a review or any kind of like, because sometimes like a lot of the Potomac previews and clips that we put up, they're not copyrighted. Like I can just put them up and I don't got an issue with it. Like there's no issue. But a lot of the other groups are saying like they pull in like everything. Like they don't want to even give Potomac like promo supposedly because of Robyn's shenanigans.
Yeah, because I noticed on YouTube, like 10 minutes of the reunion was already on there before tonight. Because you could have watched at least 10 minutes of the reunion before tonight. But I noticed when they put the little video and, well, the audio of Robyn talking in her podcast with Giselle, they specifically put the part when she mentioned talking about it on that other streaming station. What I forgot the name of the streaming station. And I also think they made it known to the viewers like she's a liar. This is evidence that whatever she's saying moving forward of what we're going to show is a bunch of lies. So I think they kind of like let the viewers know that they're not feeling Robyn either.
And they said that Andy supposedly he's going to fire her on Watch What Happens Live. And they said next episode, like they're going to show some uncut scenes from Watch What Happens Live that we didn't see. And I'm thinking maybe it's the part where he's like, you're fired. So I don't know.
You didn't see that. What they said that what?
That one is going to be the part 2 of the reunion. Is going to show snippets of Andy's Watch What Happens Live. You remember when Robyn was on there?
Yes.
Well, I guess they didn't show. There's some uncut versions that Andy didn't show that's on Watch What Happens Live that he's going to show next week. And the rumor was last week was that Robyn got fired on Watch What Happens Live. So I'm wondering if it's something's going to lead up to that.
Where you got all that tea from? I ain't hear none of this.
I heard you didn't hear that Robyn got fired. It was everywhere.
It's rumors. Like you think, is it true or is it not true? Or people just saying stuff.
They said she got fired. People that the audience that was in Watch What Happens Live and other people, they're saying the rumor has it that right there when he was talking to her that he fired her. Like in more or less words, he was basically like, I don't think you're coming back. So I don't know if it's true, but I'm wondering if that's what we're gonna see next week.
I didn't hear that. I didn't even know it was only 2 parts. I thought it was 3-part reunion. It's only 2 parts?
Maybe it's 3 parts, but the next, what I'm saying is the next part is supposed to be the uncut version of Watch What Happens Live.
Well, let's wait and see because I'm very curious to see if that's true, but I didn't hear about that. Thanks for bringing the tea. So, of course, it shows Andy visiting all the ladies. And again, when he went to all their dressing rooms, I think majority of them look better on Instagram in their outfits. Like, some of the outfits, I was like, oh my God, it looks so good in that picture. When we did our review, check our next video. Our other video, when we talked about the outfits, on camera, they wasn't giving the look as much. I have to say that looking at all them seated and the presentation as they sit, how they presented themselves and the colors on camera. I have to maybe agree with you a little bit, Elisa, and say I think Wendy looked the best. Because
okay,
you didn't get to see the whole outfit. That was one. Her makeup, her dark color, everything looked great.
yes,
I didn't like Karen's face. The wig looked like it was pulling at her edges. She looked very drag queenish.
yeah.
And I ain't like her face. But anyway, this is not about the outfits. We already talked about that.
I didn't like. No, I was thinking that's actually in my thoughts too. That like some of their outfits. I loved Wendy's makeup. Yes. I did kind of started pulling back a little bit on the dress. I didn't like that butterfly wing that was like right here.
I said that if you look at my review, I said let's wait when she sits down and see this doesn't go up. Like it looked like it was gonna bother her, like in her face, kind of.
Yeah, I didn't like it. It looked like a butterfly wing. I didn't like that part.
Yeah. So now so it started out with the seating arrangement. So as usual, Giselle and Karen sits by Andy. I think it's always been like that. I don't know what's the big deal about the
Giselle
seating.
always has a seat by Andy.
So does Karen, no?
Maybe she does.
I always feel like there's the two of them. I don't understand what the big deal of the seating was. And he kind of mentioned about the seating. And I'm like, they say rumors are that if anyone sitting next to Andy is kind of solidifying a seat role for next season, kind of like, okay, he's gonna.
To me, when you're sitting next to Andy, I would that would say a lot. That holds a lot of weight. Like when you sit, just kind of like if you were the passenger in the seat. I don't want to be in the back seat. Like a lot of people, when you're in the car, you want to be the front seat passenger. I don't want to be in the back seat. When you're the front seat passenger, you are the gunshot person. So when you next to Andy, that holds a lot of weight because that means that you did good this season. You were the center of the attention, and that's why you're right there next to Andy.
If that was the case, Wendy should have been sitting there next to Andy.
No,
not Karen.
Wendy.
Not Karen. Karen did not bring it this season. Let's be honest. If anything, it was a whole thing about the whole season was Wendy and Mia and Giselle and Candiace. Wendy and Mia's thing made the internet, the flash door. If anything, Wendy should have sat there. And I don't
think Wendy though. No, I don't know about no Wendy. Maybe Robyn or somebody just for her shenanigans.
That liar. No.
Yeah.
Not Robyn. I think Wendy or Mia. Anything.
Mia, but I don't know. Wendy and her kidney stones and stuff. Yeah.
Mia could have sat next to I'm saying who brought it. She had the conflict with her best friend. She had the kids.
Yeah, Mia. Wendy, no. Yeah, Mia, I agree.
Now that we talk Mia, she threw something in Wendy's face. The person that's kind of spiced things up with Mia should have been sitting right there. And
absolutely.
I guess Giselle, not Karen. I don't know what Karen, but I don't know about the seating makes a big difference because Candy Boris from Atlanta Housewives made a comment like, I don't be sitting next to Andy, but she's the most paid celebrity, whatever, reality celebrity, whatever you want to call it, star from Bravo out of the Housewives. And she's always been in every season. So
Candy is like an anonymously, whatever that word is. But she's like, she's a rare example because I don't even think Candy holds a lot of weight, but for whatever reason she does on Bravo. Like you said, she's in Escape. She has a big fan base. People love her, but on the show, I don't think she brings it. So she absolutely should not be in the driver's seat or the passenger seat. She should be, but I guess because she gets paid the most and her name holds a lot of weight, like she said, I'm gonna feel confident from Candy too.
Exactly, but I think Karen should not have been sitting next to Andy. But anyway.
True.
So it gets right into it. Andy mentioned Giselle dating Jason. I don't know who Jason is. I don't watch the show, but he did look very good in that picture. Whoever he is, a good-looking man. Go on, Giselle.
He's young though. He's too young for her. He's young.
He ain't never too young. If they legal age 21 and over,
what you gonna do for me and you get fired from the Summer House or Winter House or whatever show he's on? He ain't gonna be able to hold it down. I don't want no man that can't hold his own and living in his mama's basement.
He is holding it down in the bedroom. I know that much for Giselle.
Yeah, well, holding it down in his mama's basement? I don't want to be with a two like
at this point. Giselle don't need that. She's not looking for a man to take care of her, obviously. She's looking for someone to work that bottom part. I think she removed the uterus to see if
she needs more than that. She needs more.
Work.
No, she needs more than that.
Yeah, but she's just looking for a little bit of eye candy now. I don't think she's really looking
for he's good for the moment.
She's not ready for a real relationship until kids are out of the house. It's all about her kids. When she said this season, she's looking for someone to pat that kitty.
True. for the he's a moment type of guy. No, not long term. She's looking for long term. He ain't it.
Have fun, Giselle. So the next one is, well, I could not take Karen's face. I said that again, even when they started talking about Robyn's wedding and Robyn kind of spoke about her wedding. Karen's face was hilarious. Like, she has
this yawn.
Like she's kind of fixing her dentures, kind of. You know, like when you see old people that they kind of fixing their dentures. I don't think she has dentures, but she has this funny thing she does with her lip all the time. It's very distracting.
And she yawned.
Oh well, yeah, because Karen knows Robyn is bullshitting. She knows she's bullshit.
Yeah, she's playing a role. She is not a happily married woman. So stop it. You're not a new newlywed and happily, no.
And now that we know the truth, I side with Karen when she's like, I side with Karen. So they talked about Candiace's dress, which I had said she was best dressed at the time. Sitting there, I think the dress took up a lot of space and it made her stand out. I didn't think it looked bad, but she said she was paying homage to Cookie Monster, and then when I got it, I was like, "Oh yeah, it does look like Cookie
that was dumb.
Like outfit.
That was stupid.
I think the color was beautiful. It was a beautiful.
The color, I love the color, the feathers, the whole monstrosity of it all. Like, no,
Candiace is too small to carry a dress like that. She's petite. It was too much dress for her body type. So they went into Ashley and Michael right away. Ashley mentioned that her and Michael have keys to each other's homes. Having your keys to your ex's home, each other's homes, if you have boundaries and it's clearly understood, let me. There could be emergency situation. I don't think she explained it well enough. Her situation with Michael, I would not give nobody keys because of the situation. Now, if you guys have evolved, separate relationship, in case there's an emergency, I don't know what the emergency would be where I needed my ex to have my house keys.
No.
I don't
give it
know
to your
what
mama.
The emergency would be. What would be the emergency that he needs your house key?
That's what I'm saying, but you seem to agree with it. What would be the emergency that he would need a key?
I don't know. For some reason, I thought he was living there. At one point, weren't they living together? Now she mentioned he has his house. She has her house. Now that I think about it.
I never thought that they were living together, though. I never thought they were living together. I thought it was always like he's going to be basically the lien holder of the house, the co-signer, the one who's like the head of the household because it's his house. Like, even if he's not living there, he might as well be living there. He has the deed. The deed is in his name. He's holding the purse strings. Yeah,
during the season, she mentioned they were living together. Oh, that was before they bought the house? She mentioned
I thought they was in the, kind of like in transition to move into the house. I always thought it was before. To me, it don't even make a difference. He might as well live there. You got a key. The house is in your name. You paying all the bills. She got to kick boyfriends out because of him. Like, that's just, to me, he's still calling the shots. To me, it's the same thing. That's why, to me, it's the same thing as if he was living there. Like, she's stupid.
I just feel like if exes have keys to each other's houses, that's not the issue for me. It just didn't make any sense in her situation. I mean, if you have an ex and they have keys for whatever reason, I don't know. I can't think of the reason why. I don't think anything's wrong with that because everybody had their own boundaries, have their own relationship, whatever it is. I just feel like her explanation didn't make any sense. She's like, in case there's an emergency. What kind of emergency that he would need to open the door and rush in the house?
But that's the same thing. But like you saying that you don't see nothing wrong with an ex having a key. There is no emergency. I just don't think somebody would need to have a key. And like you said, you could set boundaries, but boundaries could be crossed. Like, and I'm not going to be, I don't want to be that woman in the dude's house on a date and his ex is coming in the house with a key and I'm the woman.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, the boundaries. But there are situations where maybe Michael took the kids and Ashley's not home, and one of the kids left something in the house and he needed to go get it. Whatever the situation is. I don't know the situation. I don't know why. I just feel like she didn't give a good enough explanation as to why he has the keys.
There's no explanation. He don't need to have no key. No exes need to have no key. I would never date a man that his ex got a key. I would never, like, that would be terrible. I've had a friend like that, and his ex came in the house when he was on a date, and she had a stupid excuse like, yeah, I felt like when you was on the phone with me, you sound depressed and you was suicidal or something. Meanwhile, he had the next chick in the house, and she coming running down on the chick, and he at the store. She walked in, and the next chick was in the house.
No.
So that's what I'm saying. And her excuse was, oh, you sounded depressed on the phone, so I felt like I needed to come over to make sure you was like okay. I told him, I was like, if I was that other woman, you would never see me again. Let a woman walk up in here.
And knowing your ex have your keys, I think with me in my mind, I'd be like, oh my God, if he comes in here and secret cameras, you don't know what kind of stuff if he knows you're not home and he comes in, you don't know what kind of freaky thing he might do in the house. I don't know. But that was her decision. That's her business. She fell in love with Luke.
What'd you call him? Luke? With an M?
Luke. Isn't his name Luke?
Oh, okay. I said Luke. Okay, I don't know. I'm hearing M like you said Mook.
No, Luke.
Like Mookie.
I mean, who wouldn't? He looked like a good-looking man, and she had Michael. Like Andy said, you got young balls now. You got young balls compared to Michael, who anything she'll fall in love with anything. After Michael,
she still. She claimed she was in love. I think she's more in love with the money of Michael's money. That's always going to reign supreme.
And Andy said Michael should feel impotent. I agree. I mean, but again, you don't know. Michael could be dating young women like Ashley. He has money.
I don't know why I think Andy, Ashley, and some people are in denial of like Michael's really like hung up on Ashley for some reason. Like, why would Michael feel impotent when he's chasing after slapping producers' asses, chasing after other women in hotels, caught with other women? Like, Michael is not at home depressed over no Ashley. He is fine what he's doing. No, he is not. He don't care about no Ashley. He care about the kids, of course. Of course, he loves her, but Michael's doing him. He's not worried about Ashley like that.
Men's egos. He might not want Ashley. Let's be honest. He may be sleeping with 20 women. Look, that's better than Ashley, and having threesomes, whatever, orgies, all you want. Men, women, everybody. But the fact is, it's on national TV, and his ego. As a man, your ego is going to be bruised. So you got a younger, better-looking man, knowing popping it down of your still wife, the mother of your children. I think his ego could have been bruised. It is bruised. He's old, white, and shriveled up.
I don't think his ego's bruised. He's doing him. He got her as a concubine. Michael is living his best life. He is not hung up and not feeling impotent or whatever. No, he's good. Like, he's not worried about her.
Don't show him. I can't say that. I ain't show him.
He's good. He got her kept in the house as a concubine, waiting on him with the kids, kicking dudes out the house when he come over. Please. He ain't worried about no Ashley.
The chat. We got people in the chat. We're not even saying the chat's hello.
Yes, welcome back.
So, can you pronounce his name? Okay, Kia? She said football is in her golden creep cage. And Carlson said, hello, ladies. And Kia said, sorry, my man. Hello, everyone. Hi. So let's get the chat going. So let's see what else. So Ashley looks like a dumb broad. I'll say broad.
Concubine.
When she mentioned she is not getting any alimony and that the prenup is not in her favor. And I had to think back on the other episodes. When Ashley was signing these prenups, she had him write a prenup, write a post-nup. Remember, there was one of the seasons he rewrote the prenup. And I think Ashley was very stupid and probably was so into believing what Michael said, she didn't get an attorney or someone more intelligent than her to read over those prenups.
And you talking about Michael is hung up on some Ashley. Michael is on the sidelines, patting his boys. He's patting his family like, yo, I did it. I got her as a concubine. I got all my money. I get to keep all my money. Michael is so good right now. He's in the greatest position ever. Okay?
Ashley should really be embarrassed of herself.
Exactly.
I would have kept that a secret. One thing I have to say about Ashley, I appreciate her honesty and her openness. Because if that had been me, I would not have said all those stuff. I would be like, well, this is personal. I think she let out a lot of personal business about her divorce. No one needs to know about you not getting alimony. She made it seem like she may be getting spousal support. The house is hers. And I'm thinking, yeah, he'll give you the house, but can you afford it? That's nothing. He might be giving her the Ashley, because she said she's getting a house, but that doesn't mean he's paid off the house for her. How's she gonna afford the mortgage?
I think what she said, I don't think the house is paid off, but it is like her house. Like if she want to sell it or whatever, they probably split the money. But at the end of the day, the house is most likely in his name. She can't afford it. So what good is it if everything is in his name? He has to sell it. She may not even get anything from the house. It's not even her house when he's the deed holder of it. It's all his money.
Exactly. So what did she get? So Kia said football will be, I can't even see, oh Lord, gloating about Gollum's money and what he would get, spending her time trying to belittle Candiace, and this is her life. Thank you. We're gonna get right into
I was thinking the same thing. I was about to, we about to get into that.
Yeah, into it right now. So I like the fact of how Candiace shut Ashley's behind down. Because she had mentioned that Candiace was the least, she said something about the least, not profitable, the one, what did she say about Candiace? Last reunion when she mentioned that Candiace was the one that basically was the loser out of the group, wasn't making anything.
Oh yeah, she's the least
I had it written down here.
The least successful cast member on the show. Something of that. Basically that's what she said.
Least accomplished.
Yeah.
On the show. So Candiace read her for filth. Basically,
I don't think she read her good enough. I just swear, maybe I'm more of a shade assassin. I would throw a whole tree at bitches. I just feel like Candiace, Ashley came back and she was like, I would never have my kids at 30 years old living in someone else's name or whatever she said. She kind of had the last word. And I feel like Ashley kind of held her ground too. I don't think Candiace shut her all the way down like she should have.
I agree, but I think Candiace did it on a higher level. But I think certain times, if I was Candiace, I would gloat. This is my moment to bring her down. But I think Candiace feel like, look, this woman has embarrassed herself on national TV that I don't have to. I could just keep myself at this level. And everyone already seeing Ashley's a fool. Everybody see her marriage is falling apart. Everybody knows she ain't got no money. So there's no need for her to even bring her further down to the ground.
But I can't even believe Ashley would even fix her mouth to say that. I actually thought Candiace Candiace said that to Ashley, because I feel like Candiace is so Candiace got degrees. Candiace is so well spoken. She's very intelligent, way more intelligent than I think Ashley is. So I honestly thought when I had to rewind it for a second, I'm like, wait a minute, Ashley said that about Candiace instead of vice versa. Ashley got a lot of nerve because she's living off of her whole family, her mother, everybody's living off of Michael. She's nothing without his money. So what has Ashley accomplished?
Nothing. So the reason why they had said it, a lot of them said on the show, Giselle's one of them leading the crowd, was because Candiace mentioned that her mother was the one that was paying or helping her pay for her and Chris's apartment or house, condo, whatever they were living in. So they kind of looked down on really, you're married and your mom is paying for where you live. And Candiace said it's generational wealth that her mother, she comes from, I guess, upper class wealth or whatever we want to call it. And they were willing to help her out. So that was a dig to Candiace at the time. Because at the time, it seems like her and Chris weren't where they needed to be financially as a married couple. And Ashley was tooting her own horn up her behind because she had a wealthy man. And they were at the time when they were opening a restaurant. She was trying to seemed like she was going to get her own business and things like that. And looking back at it, it made a lot of sense why Michael probably didn't want the damn restaurant, because if that restaurant became very successful, that would have been money now Ashley could have had.
Michael is a smart man.
I kind of like Michael now.
Michael knew what he was doing. Michael knew what he was doing.
Rich man, Ashley. You got a white rich man. I don't know if she was a bartender. I don't know how much education Ashley had. This man had money to get probably the best attorneys and put legal words in there you probably can't even pronounce. You read it thinking you know what you're doing, and you failed and fall flat in your face. When you're battling somebody like that, you better get a good attorney yourself, because an attorney who read that prenup would have told Ashley, do not sign it. You need to add extra clause in there to make sure that you have secured the bag.
But I think she was confident. Whatever. See, this is what these men be kicking some kind of sweet nothings in these women's ears, where they just, feeling good about the money in the moment. They're not even thinking about a divorce. They thinking, I'm young, I'm hot, I'm going to keep this old goat for as long as I can keep him, thinking he going to be, not knowing this man is living his gay, hetero, bisexual life, and he's like all over the place. So she's not thinking this. Meanwhile, he's good. She's the one that got to hold on to him. I think he's good.
I think Ashley thought of divorce, because when she decided to do the prenup again with Michael, let's not forget that was the time she found out Michael was cheating or was with that stripper or whatever. The picture came out of Michael being in that hotel room. So that's why she decided to rewrite the prenup and put a divorce clause, a cheating clause in there. Remember?
After he did his dirt, but I think when she first got married, she should have had that prenup already locked in, where it was kind of beneficial to her. Like, I'm just saying, in the beginning, she probably was feeling like, I'm young, I'm beautiful. He's gonna be, until I say it's over, it's gonna be over. But it's not gonna be over while she's gonna just keep getting the money for the long run, not knowing that Michael is going to be doing him. So I don't know. I just think he was stupid.
What happened, from what Ashley said, is she thought she was going to get money, but what she explained is he used whatever money he had or investments he had prior to the marriage, because what she said is the prenup said any money before the marriage he keeps it. Anything he's gotten or throughout the marriage, they were able to maybe go half on it. He was smart enough to use previous money, whatever he put in there, so whatever he has now, Ashley can't get. So he was smart enough and didn't do any business with Ashley and didn't allow Ashley to create or own anything. He didn't let her do or start her own business.
He's smart. Listen, he is a smart, whoever his attorneys are, they need to, they need to advertise, letting people know like that they letting they clients keep their own money, and they being smart about it. Whoever advised Michael was very smart. Whatever attorneys he got on deck, I want to know who they are, just in case I might marry a rich man, and I want to secure the bag and secure my bag too.
And this is something, ladies, anybody listening, if you got any man you marry, you need to take that prenup and find out and make sure that clause says the money, even if it's the money he's using for previous businesses before the marriage, that also needs to be split. You need to make sure you have an ironclad clause in there and get smart attorneys. I don't think Ashley had anyone look at that.
I don't even think that. I think her next problem, not only just that, her next problem was not only was she banking on his money, like after, banking on all of his money, but she didn't even do nothing for herself. Like, what about her own businesses? What about accumulating wealth while you're in the marriage, using his money to open up a business for yourself, doing something like there's so much you can do online, businesses like what Robyn's doing, the hat line, candles. Where is her? She just at home being a concubine, spitting out kids.
But Ashley started a restaurant, but we don't know now.
Actually, Michael.
You remember Ashley was trying to do a restaurant and he didn't want it, and he was telling I'll shut it down, and it didn't go well. They never had that restaurant up and running.
Oh, I don't, yeah.
But you never know why, because he probably was like, oh, this, like I said, he probably didn't want to, but we don't know now that clause. You got to think about it. Ashley doesn't have her own money. If she started a new business, right, and used Michael's money to start that business, would that business now be Ashley's? Or would they have to go 50-50?
Probably,
Or
yeah.
would it still be Michael's? Because she's
Probably,
using
yeah. That's
money.
true.
He would have probably used money from he had before previous to the prenup that he agreed he didn't want to go 50-50 with Ashley. She probably would have gotten screwed if she started her own business with Michael.
She should have did, but she didn't do nothing though. At least do something. Like, what do you have to show for yourself?
She needs money. Well, I don't know. Maybe she'll get famous over TikTok. So Kai said, mind you, when Forehead said that Candiace had 2 billion. Yeah, when Ashley was talking about Candiace during that reunion, that she's what she said about Candiace, that she's the least accomplished. Candiace had businesses going on. I honestly, Ashley's the least accomplished.
Yeah, that's why I was so shocked that when I realized that, wait, Ashley is saying this about Candiace? And that's why I feel like Candiace should have shut her down even more. Like, I feel like Candiace did it like in a very eloquent way. It was nice, but I don't think it was good enough. Ashley needs to be put in her place. Like,
correct. But when Ashley had said that to Candiace, that was the time she was feeling herself and she was trying to do the restaurant.
Yeah.
But at the time, Candiace really wasn't doing anything that we could see on screen.
But that's when Candiace should have like really showcased her failures.
Yeah, I would have made Candiace Ashley cry.
Yeah,
made her cry. This is the moment you make her cry.
Exactly, because you can tell Candiace is still hurt about what they were saying about her living in her mama's house. You know, I kind of laughed at the part when Candiace was like slamming on the table when Ashley was talking about, you know, Candiace living in her mama's house, and then Ashley was like, "You better watch out! Stop slamming on your mama's table." Like this, I'm saying, like all of this stuff, I'm sure it weighed on Candiace, and that's when she would have felt my wrath. So I don't know.
I would have made her cry. So they had Candiace put Ashley in her place. Okay, so when Ashley and Giselle were mic'd, and Ashley said, you know, they were talking about dating and stuff, and Ashley mentioned she's dating a new guy. I just said, damn, this girl's moving fast. I mean, Candiace always said Ashley was a hoe.
I thought that was she talking about a new guy, or was she talking about the one that Michael kicked out?
The one Michael kicked out, Luke, and she also said, well, I'm talking to a new guy. I said, she's moving kind of fast now. Calm down, Ashley. Get that kitty cat.
No, I think she shouldn't be going out on dates. She needs to get Michael, you know, I mean, even though
dates, but giving the kitty cat that fast, I don't know, girl.
Who said she giving up the kitty cat?
Did she just break up with that guy, Luke?
But who said she was giving a new guy the kitty cat?
Yeah, it sounded like she wasn't, but well, I don't know. But I would say keep it quiet.
You judging.
Huh? Yeah, I'm judging. Yes, I am. But like I said, Candiace always said Ashley was a hoe. But I just think at least don't make it so public. That's my opinion. You have kids out there to make it so public.
No, women need to live their best life. You're getting a divorce. Your man is big.
I agree, but don't make it. I just say don't make it so public. That's my opinion. You could sleep with how many men you want that you buy this kitty.
She ain't saying she's sleeping. She's dating. She's casually dating.
I doubt that very much. She's only dating, but that's my opinion. Moving right along. Mia talks about now they're going into Mia
and her rash.
She had a rash, and she talks about she is taking medication and she has growing tissue in her reproductive system. She talked about that, you know, she's doing that because she doesn't want to have a hysterectomy, and she could have related with Giselle. We're going into Giselle and her whole hysterectomy, but I guess we'll talk about it now because it seems they're going to be bringing up next reunion. But Giselle had a hysterectomy. That wasn't part of the show, but like Candiace kept saying, we'll talk about that later. But anyway, I just figured that should have been brought on the show. Giselle doesn't really talk about anything that personal. And apparently
that's what what's the name was saying to her. Like Candiace. She's not. Yes, Candiace was saying about Giselle, like she's so focused on bringing everybody else down. And I do think that needs to be highlighted, like how they did kind of like mastermind this story of Chris and other storylines. I think Giselle and Robyn.
Now you saying masterminding Chris, mind you.
No, I do believe. What'd you say?
When you felt that she wasn't that, you said that Giselle had a reason to feel comfortable.
I believe, yes, I do believe that Giselle, absolutely. We're going to get to that part, but I absolutely believe that Giselle had a reason. But I think that Giselle was smart about it, being basically like the executive producer. Like she's like the head bitch in charge of that show at the cast.
Well,
So
she
to
needs to be
me,
fired too. If she's doing executive producer, she's letting Robyn get with lies.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I do believe that she's the mastermind of a lot of these storylines. But the thing about with it is she's not making it reality based. She's kind of bringing up, like trying to manipulate storylines. But I do believe that the storyline that she manipulated with Chris, I do believe it happened. I do think Chris was dead ass wrong. But I think that she wanted to bring it on the season and focus on that instead of herself and her own reality and Robyn's own reality. She wanted to steer the whole audience and the storyline away from themselves and onto Chris and him going to the hotel room. And if his ass wouldn't have been in the hotel room, there would have never been a problem. But he wanted to be up in the hotel rooms and bitch his faces. So now he got to deal with it. And Candiace too.
One, I didn't even know Giselle's. I did hear Giselle's executive producer. I don't know how she got that. How the hell she became an executive producer?
Secondly, no, she's not. I think they just saying it. Is she?
I don't know.
Secondly, yeah, I don't think so.
I disagree. Chris did not do anything wrong.
He apologized, and rightly so.
As a viewer, Andy said it. As a gay man,
what's wrong
for a married man being in the hotel for single woman? Well, let's not get it wrong. That is wrong. But the way that Giselle, hell, let me take that back. That is wrong. I wouldn't want my husband being in a hotel room with a single woman in that not in this manner, because not a random single woman, obviously.
No woman alone. I don't care what woman. My man better not be in nobody other woman's hotel room.
The situation with how it is on the cast and Candiace and Chris and Giselle in that situation. If I was Candiace, I would not be mad at Chris. I wouldn't. I don't think Chris' intent was to do something to Giselle in there. I don't.
You wouldn't say nothing to your man like, you better never go in no other woman. You wouldn't say nothing about staying out of women's hotel rooms? You wouldn't say that to your man?
Out of women's hotel rooms. He did it with Giselle. Again, we had plenty discussions about this. The whole situation of when Chris went into the hotel with Giselle, he clearly explained how it happened. She clearly explained how it happened. Now, if I was Candiace, I would not buy Giselle's story. I wouldn't. I would stick by my man. I would have told him, well, maybe you should have thought it. I wouldn't be mad at him because he, against Giselle, never said what he did that made her feel comfortable. Not one time Giselle said what he did that made her feel comfortable.
Again, like I said before, I don't have to tell you, oh, he came in and his eyes was looking dreamy at me and he had hearts in his eyes. And it was like,
she implied she felt.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. I don't have to give you a reason. Oh, he gave me a hug and the hug was, he was embracing me too heavily. Like, I don't need to give a reason about feeling uncomfortable. If somebody comes into my hotel room, if he comes into the bathroom, is there a reason? Do I got to give you a reason why somebody comes into the bathroom while I'm in the bathroom?
Totally different. If I'm married and you tell me my husband, you feel comfortable, I need to know the details as to why.
No, I don't need to know no details.
I would have given Giselle a hot piece of shit attention. I would not pay her no mind. Because if you don't come with the facts, details, bye-bye. I don't want to hear it. Don't tell me, I was in the room with your husband and I felt uncomfortable.
That's all I need to hear. And I don't need a reason from another woman. I don't need the woman to give me a reason. If my husband made you feel uncomfortable, I would tell him, first of all, like Robyn said, and I agree with what Robyn said. I don't always agree with Robyn, but what she said, let's not let this bypass, let's not let this go over people's head. Husbands should not be in no hotel room.
When Robyn said that, I wanted to smack the crap.
I was like, yes, Robyn.
No, I wanted to smack Robyn. You, of all people, talk about that, and your husband is going to hotel rooms signing checks or signing bills for women hotels, or you saying, let's not forget. I wanted to smack the shit.
Yeah, the messenger was all messed up. The message was good. It was the messenger.
That your husband is lying to you, and I say lie, and I allegedly. It's telling you that he went into this hotel and signed for this room to paid for a woman's hotel room, and you're hello. So when she said it, that went over my head because it was coming.
Yeah, like I said, the messenger.
Karen, Wendy, somebody else of credibility, even Mia said it. But Robyn said, I was like, shut the hell up. This is a topic she should have stayed quiet.
Yeah, she should have stayed out. I believe, no, the message was good. The messenger was messed up. But as I was going to say about Andy putting his 2 cents in as a gay man.
Andy. He needs to put 2 cents in.
No, gay men, first of all, if you're gay, don't speak about heterosexual business. You don't know nothing about that.
They're coming after you, girl. They're coming after you, girl. Relationship is relationship.
No.
I think relationship is relationship. Even if a gay man felt that way about a married gay man and a single gay man, I think Andy coming in, talking about this, he was right.
Okay, I don't know what happened with the Farrah's connection. Is getting disconnected. I don't know, but let me say my speech. My piece about Andy. I'm not saying, I didn't mean to, I hope I don't offend anybody that's gay, but all I know is I'm not going to speak upon like gays and what they're doing. Like Farrah said, relationships are relationships, but I don't know. I just did not like that Andy was speaking upon, because he even said himself, I'm gay. I don't know nothing about the dynamics about heterosexual, but I just don't feel another man should be up in a hotel room with another woman. In another woman's room. I would not want my husband going to another woman, especially a single woman, let alone a woman that could be married or whatever, a single woman. And then at that, she's telling you she's uncomfortable. So I don't agree with Farrah. And then when Robyn came on and said that she, it shouldn't go over people's heads, that going into hotel rooms. So next, until Farrah comes back on, because I don't want to stop the live until she comes back on, the next topic of that discussion. Okay, let me put Farrah back in. Sorry, hey girl, what happened? I was trying to carry the show without you.
Oh, so I think Andy coming in and putting his 2 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents in was a valid point. I think Randy did good. I honestly think Andy did very well interviewing and asking the right questions for this reunion, at least for the first part.
I think he did, but I just don't, like I said, he don't need to be speaking upon heterosexuals in hotel rooms. I don't know what the gay dynamics are when, I don't know if gays, like if he think it's okay, they all be in hotel rooms together, they go in husband's hotel room. I don't know if that's the norm for that type of circle. I don't know.
No, I don't think he meant it in that way. He's saying as a gay man.
Okay.
Are you saying that married people can't be in bedrooms with single people and nothing is going to happen? Like a man and a woman can't be in a room together and there's nothing happening there and it's platonic and nothing's happening.
Not in a hotel room. I just think that's inappropriate. Not in a hotel room. Not in a hotel. Not in a hotel room. It's not like it's a penthouse. She probably in a hotel room. The bed is right there. It's 2 close quarters. That is her bedroom. That's a bedroom. Like a man should not be in another woman.
And Giselle should not have went. That's how I feel. It was Giselle's room. She should not have allowed him in there.
But they both were wrong. But exactly. I'm just saying, if I were Candiace, I would check my husband. And the reason why they're in this mess is because of him. And that's what I would have told my husband. I would have said to my husband, listen, I get it. I'm on your side. I'm always going to have my husband's back. Hopefully he don't do nothing dumb again like that. And it doesn't like carry legs where he did come on to her or something like that. But as long as it's something very innocent like that, I would check my husband. Like, listen, you effed up. Please don't let this happen again. Stay out of hotel rooms. Don't do this again. I'm gonna handle this. I'm gonna hold this down, but never do this again. And that's it. But I would check my husband.
No, I probably would say, but again, if you're in a circle of friends, like he said, Chris was like, oh, Giselle comes over the house. They've been filmed for years. Everybody know everybody. You're not thinking your husband gonna go after Giselle. Giselle don't want my husband. Everyone's comfortable with each other. In a situation like that, I would be appalled or even shocked that somebody would say they felt comfortable with my husband being in the room with them. Like if you have a circle of friends hanging out, everybody's cool, you trust the friends, you trust the man, you trust everybody around, nothing's happening. And in the front, a person, because Giselle and Candiace were close. Like she said, she came to her music premiere, her whatever crap she went to see with her. She said that before the film of the show, Giselle came and met her several places and could have mentioned this. She waited to do it on air. But I, in a situation like that, would have been like, really? You felt comfortable with my husband in the room, but we're all friends. We're all cool. Why would you? I'll probably be more shocked than anything else. I don't know, but I'm team.
Avoid it. Keep your husband out of hotel rooms. Avoid the situation.
Oh, and Giselle, keep your ass from going into these rooms and not inviting them into your hotel room, because Giselle invited him into her hotel room.
She didn't invite him, but go on.
She did.
I'm with Giselle on this one.
Huh?
I'm with Giselle on this. She did not invite him to her hotel room. He came to her hotel room.
Invited. Okay. Ladies, help us stop the battle. Okay, so Mia, okay, whatever about Mia. Mia, congrats, Wendy.
No, but the cancer story you remember with the cancer, Wendy did speak upon, Andy asked her about the cancer situation.
She said she was a mite. Wendy did own up to it. I think she was on Carlos King or somebody else, another show, and she did own up to, I was Mike. I said what I said. She was being a hypocrite at that time, very two-faced. I was kind of surprised, even watching that episode. I was like, damn, Wendy, you just said she's a liar. Now you saying the same thing. So they quoted Wendy on it. She didn't take full ownership on it, but she didn't. She didn't take full ownership.
She was like laughing it off. You could tell she was uncomfortable because she was caught in her lie. And I felt like Robyn should have jumped in too to have like basically doubled down on it, because she was in Robyn's face about, had trying to have Mia's back. And meanwhile, Wendy didn't even have Mia's back. So how dare you come at me, argue with me about the cancer story with Mia when you didn't even believe her either? I felt like, I don't know if they edited it because it looked like Robyn was trying to say something, and I don't know if they cut it out. But Robyn had a valid point to say something about the hypocrisy of Wendy.
That's what I was saying. I was waiting for Robyn to go at Wendy and team up with Mia, but she didn't. She stayed pretty quiet.
Yeah, and then Wendy, I felt like, and this is what disappointed me too with Mia, when Mia and Wendy was going at it about like the cancer, and that Mia did try to check Wendy, but then Wendy again came out like the queen bee in charge and kind of like buried Mia in that instance when Mia said to her, your husband was in the hospital room recording you. And he's like, she said he was opportunistic in the hospital room recording you, because remember Wendy's husband was in the hospital room when Wendy was getting her kidney stones taken out, and he was recording it, and Mia tried to make it seem like he was being opportunistic. And then Wendy shot back at her and was like, well, maybe your husband will be more caring, your next husband will be more caring like mine is, or something like that, she said.
She said maybe your next husband. So she felt Wendy's. I kind of was wondering what they're going back. So she felt Wendy's husband did that. I'm assuming to get taping to put on the show. That was a little storyline for Wendy. Which I think Mia's husband should have done the same. That was Wendy's little 2 seconds of having some footage. I mean, if you're coming over a cancer story and you're in the hospital, but again, this is the thing that it went over people's head. Mia's situation doesn't seem like it happened during filming. What did the whole cancer scare, whatever, it looked like it happened before the filming of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, and again, this is me, your husband at the time when no filming's happening is actually, let me record us going to the doctor to put her next season. It wasn't, the timing wasn't right.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Mia didn't speak up about it. So when Wendy shot back at her and was like, maybe your husband, maybe your next husband will be there for you. Like mine is, Wendy just was like, Mia was like, maybe he will. Like, she basically said that, in more or less words, Wendy said to Mia that you're not going to be married and you're not going to have like, you're not going to stay married, and that you're going to get like a third husband. Like, how dare you talk about my husband? And that's what Mia should have shot back at Wendy and said something about her husband, because she just is like, maybe. Like, no, I would never end it like that if I were Mia.
If you're Mia, you need to end it that way.
No.
Mia is not someone who could verbalize articulate enough to shut
Exactly.
somebody down on Wendy's level. Wendy is way too smart for Mia. Let's be honest. Wendy could go against Candiace. Now, shade is one thing, but when you could verbally, intelligently assassinate someone, Mia's not at that level. This is exactly why she threw the drink in Wendy's face. So when you go against Wendy, you really need to know what you're saying at a high level. I think Mia
But you would have left it at that? If Wendy would have said...
I wouldn't, but we're talking about Mia. Mia, hello, Mia does not seem that smart to go toe-to-toe Wendy. Let's be honest.
I just don't even think you got to be that smart. If somebody ended it at, yeah, maybe next time. And like you said, Mia's situation, her cancer story wasn't on air at that time. So like you said, her husband probably was there for her while she was getting like the fake cancer treatment, like whatever she thought she had, she didn't have cancer. She had a rash. So supposedly she was scared in the hospital. Maybe her husband was there for her, but it was off season. So he wasn't recording like Wendy's husband was. But that's what I'm saying. I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to say back to Wendy, listen, my husband was there for me, bitch. Don't get it twisted. It was off season, but they're going to be in the second marriage.
I think at that point, when you're in these reunions, and again, we get to watch it, talk about and see what we would have said. When you're in the middle of certain things, cameras and stuff, you may not think of how to respond. And when you look back, damn, you never had an argument, be like, damn, I should have said this to her. Oh, damn, I forgot to say this. Oh, I'm going to text it to her. Like, you forget. So I don't think at that point Mia thought back about like, oh yeah, my husband didn't record, it wasn't filming. Sometimes you don't have time to give a quick response.
Yeah, true, because I've been in those situations.
I think sometimes Mia's not quick. One, you got to be quick with your response, and you have to be able to verbalize it. I think Mia doesn't have time to quickly give a response, unless it ain't about how I look, I got more money. That's her response to stuff. You know, about her looks and about her husband and about her money.
Yeah.
When it comes to other stuff that doesn't pertain to those three things, I don't think she could go to toe-to-toe, and I don't think she has time to think of a response. So that's when she reacts, because she doesn't have the capability to verbally say anything. So she did the right thing, quieting herself and not saying anything, because Wendy would have assassinated her.
As she did.
And she did. So I think Mia crawled back into a hole and shut her mouth. And I said, Mia, just shut up. Shut up.
Yeah. While you ahead of yourself. And she did. So, like you said, she knew what she was doing.
Mia already embarrassed herself with the explanation about her husband's brother stealing all their money. I was totally confused about how many board members. Was it 3? Was it 8? How is somebody who's part owner, have an account, can go into the bank and take all your money? I don't think that's possible, because I don't know. I don't have a business. I don't understand.
You're the CEO of the business, and they just squeezed you out and voted you out of the business. Come on.
Now you're not the CEO. You're not even part ownership. You have a percentage. You never made it seem like it was a family business. It seems like it was you and your husband. It just sounds shady. I mean, Giselle mentioned embezzlement. Mia mentioned about having had to give up the house they were renting. And she was honest. I have to say, I commend Mia, like I did Ashley. She was very honest, saying they have no money coming in and that they're living off of their savings.
That's horrible.
I would not have mentioned that either.
I wouldn't have mentioned that. I think it's embarrassing. It shows that you are mismanaging your money. Like, I mean, even though she said they have the savings, so that's good. They have savings at least, but you're renting. First of all, it's not smart money. Like, it's good that they have a savings to kind of like fall back on, because we should all have savings if we get into like some kind of issues. But to be renting all around the place, even when you have money, you don't even have a property that you own, you're renting. And then she called it bi-coastal, even though it was like on the same coast, and you're renting in North Carolina, South Carolina, like, all like, why? And you have businesses, you're big time CEOs of all these businesses, you're cutting ribbons and stuff, opening up new businesses, and you're renting all over the place and don't even have a place to call your own.
And she said, oh, I can't keep up my $40,000 a month lifestyle. Did you hear that? She kind of said that. $40,000, but then again, that's a lot. I mean, it's very embarrassing. You come on this show and act like you were the richest of all of them. It was all about money, boss bitch, owning your business, having your own business, boss, 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 boss. That's all you heard about Mia.
Yeah.
And now you have no money coming in. I mean, I don't know how big her savings is, but eventually that savings is going to be dwindling to
Dry up.
nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, you're broke. No money coming in. You're living off your savings. You're broke.
And you supposedly had businesses all over the place that the brother stole all of your businesses, and that's all you. That's where all your stream of income was coming from. This one particular business.
Well, she said multiple. They had multiple locations of the whatever it is.
But it was still one stream. It seemed like one streamer and one business. Like it seems like it was just like kind of like one business. Yeah, they was opening up all over the place, but someone was able to steal it from them. It seemed like it was just.
I don't understand. The whole thing didn't make any sense. What lets me know what it seems like is the brother owns the business. They were working for the brother because she mentioned she was like managing direct something, and he fired you behind. That's what
I think she was just getting caught all up in her lies and she just couldn't keep it straight. So she was making it seem like I'm the CEO, along with being a CEO, because you can be the CEO and also have a position within the company. So now you're getting like two streams of income. You pulling a salary and you're CEO. So she was trying to make it seem like she had a lot of hats within that business, which she was lying. Like, because how could you be forced out when you are wearing all these hats, plus you the CEO? Like, you got all these positions, and you seem to have more than 50% of the company, and they pushed you out? She lying.
This is what I'm saying. I think she was they gave her a job there, and they fired her.
No, she's the CEO, she said.
Girl, bye.
She lying.
I think, again, you could be a CEO of a company. Let's not get twisted. You could be a CEO of the company, but you own the company. There's a lot of CEOs out there, and they're not the owner of the company. They don't. She's
the CEO. She made it seem like she was like more than like she was the whole owner. But now the story's switching up. She's making it seem like she owned 40% now. The percentage kept getting lower and lower to make it believable that the company was stolen from her. Was stolen from her. She's lying. She was her story was just all over the place.
Well, CEO of a company could get fired. You could be the CEO of a company, but you're not owner of the company. You're not the owner of the company. You could be the CEO. There's a lot of Fortune 500 companies that have CEOs, but they are not the owner, and they get fired and they hire a new CEO.
She was making it seem though that she had all these hats within the company. She's a CEO, an owner of this, of that. Like she had multiple positions within the company, along with being. But whatever. She at the end. The bottom line is she a liar.
That's what it is. The brother fired her behind. With her husband, found out they were doing shady business, fired her. That's it. Just say you got fired from your job.
And that's what I'm saying. She got this cover-up story that she's getting all tangled up in her lies about, where everybody's laughing at her. Everybody on all them cast members that supposedly is her friends, and the ones that's not her friends.
Even Giselle is throwing shade at her.
That's what I'm saying. They was all like laughing at her because they knew like she was getting all tangled up in her lies. She should have came with a better story than that, knowing like you coming before Andy of all people. Andy's known for like throwing subtle shade to make you look dumb. So she should have came on to the reunion with a better story that nobody could poke holes in like they did. She looked stupid.
Yeah, I would be like, look, there's a legal case going on right now. I can't discuss it on the show.
Exactly. She tried so hard to be forthcoming and show like the reality, but it was really all lies. But she just got caught up in it. She's like you said, she's not that bright. You can't be not that bright and coming up with all these like lies, because then it's easily going to be, people going to poke holes in it like they did. So
yeah, I think it was terribly executed what she was trying to convey to everyone, and you could tell she was getting emotional. I was like, well, if everyone's laughing, I'm not going to talk about it anymore.
Mia doesn't have the IQ to execute such a big lie.
Yeah, stuff like that, Andy, I can't talk about it. I have a legal case. Even if you don't, Randy, you're gonna know. I would have been like, I can't talk about, this. We're still in works of a legal battle. I would make up something. I already would know what I'm not gonna talk about.
When people don't have that, when people have a low, I'm not saying I don't think her IQ is that, because she can't even get into a debate with anybody without throwing drinks, throwing tantrums and stuff. So I just don't think her IQ is sufficient enough to execute. I think she thinks way more. She thinks she's more intelligent than she is. And this display that she put on the reunion showed that you're not that intelligent, girl.
Display of stupidity. That's what I call it.
Yes.
So they go into talking about Candiace and Giselle and the whole Chris debacle, and that Chris had sent Giselle a text after the season apologizing. And to Giselle, Chris apologizing was him admitting he did something wrong. Andy and myself, we both agree that that text is not him saying he admitted anything. He's saying, if you felt I did something that made you uncomfortable, I apologize. He didn't say I did anything. Giselle took it as he admitted.
No, I agree with Giselle again. I would take it as she didn't say he did anything. See, that's what y'all getting all hung up on. You, Andy, and the rest of the people that's on Candiace's and Chris's side, y'all getting hung up on making it seem like he made a pass or he did. You don't have to do, for me to feel uncomfortable, you don't have to do nothing. It's me. It's a feeling I get. If you come in and I'm feeling like, okay, but you start looking weird at me or you giving me like some bad vibes or bad energy, it's a feeling that I'm getting. If something's inappropriate, it's the way it's me. I feel it's inappropriate. I don't necessarily need the masses to tell me what makes me feel uncomfortable. I'm gonna tell you what makes me feel uncomfortable. So like he said, as he should have, I'm sorry if I made you feel uncomfortable. And he did. So I would accept his apology too. Thank you. I didn't say you did anything uncomfortable. I didn't say you did anything specifically, but you made me feel uncomfortable. So yes, I accept your apology. And that will be the end of it.
Wrong. Again, I would need to know what he did that made you feel comfortable. Oh,
nothing.
How
I feel
did
uncomfortable.
You feel comfortable? What happened? But she didn't give a clear explanation. So Giselle apologized. Giselle decides she's going to apologize to Chris and Candiace, and for calling Chris a sneaky link. Giselle, I think, over-exaggerated the situation.
She did. That part with the sneaky link and him and her insinuating that he could have came on to her. She should have just left it at, I felt uncomfortable. I'm not saying he did anything. It was just a feeling I get. He's in my bedroom. He's trying to talk to me. He's getting it. He's going through something with his wife and he's in my bedroom. Okay. So that alone make me feel uncomfortable. She should have left it at that. She shouldn't have put in the sneaky link part and all this other stuff. She did too much. And that's what kind of makes her story start getting a little shaky. So she should have left that part out and she should have apologized. But I get Candiace's issue with it now too. I do, because I do believe that Giselle did manipulate this story to take attention away from herself and Robyn's situation with Juan and the other woman. So I do believe, and I would have said the same thing that Candiace told Giselle, shove it up your ass. Okay, you don't need to apologize to my man because you manipulated this whole story to bring it on before the audience so it could take attention away from you and Robyn.
Yeah, like she said, you should be talking about your uterus.
She said dried up uterus, dying uterus. I think a lot of women gonna come after her.
I don't remember.
She said you're dying or drying up uterus. It needs to come on, was dying to come on the show and be showcased. And I think a lot of women, I do think that was very inconsiderate. It was just very like Candiace, that was just inappropriate, like an inappropriate comment to make. Because I think a lot of women do suffer from fibroids and all kind of stuff where, it is hard for them to get rid of like all of their female organs. And to say like, my uterus is drying up and like it's dying.
Something about her uterus, yeah.
Reference. Yeah, her uterus is drying up.
She said you should have focused your storyline on that. Now, there's a couple of things that I agree with Candiace. Giselle should have used this platform and maybe talk about having a hysterectomy, her children, her surgery, educate women on hysterectomies, her decision having that could have been somewhat of a storyline, maybe not the whole season, but let's see a different side of Giselle. I think she should have touched on that. Now, Candiace, on the other hand, basically saying that should have been something Giselle talked on, other than her husband and the situation in the bedroom. I agree. But her saying dried up uterus and stuff like that, I didn't like it. One of the main reasons, you are now trying to have a child. You see, you cry because of difficulties of having a children. You have now gone and frozen your embryos, right? She has 6 embryos. She cried about it. So you making fun of or using that to kind of put another woman down or whatever you want to say, that's not what you do, because you too could be in a situation where you got to take your ovary out. You could be in this worse situation. Because you have 6 embryos don't mean they're going to put them in there and it's going to work. You could have 10 embryos and all of them where you have to get a surrogate. So the fact that she said that to Giselle, I think was very inappropriate. And I think social media is going to come after her.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. I think she should watch what she's saying. Like, that was just very heartless to say, because there's a lot of women that have issues. And I mean, I've never had a hysterectomy. Hopefully I'll never have to get one. But I know from what I see and hear, it's not a good feeling, because it makes you feel, from what I heard from my friends, like maybe less than a woman. People struggle with that.
Well, I had it. I didn't struggle. I have no problems. Nothing's changed. I was good.
Your emotions, girl.
No, for me, everybody have their own situation.
No, I know.
Everybody's different. You know, with me, it was like, good. I'll take it out. I don't plan on having any more kids. My situation was different. I had to get it done, and I had no problems getting done. It hasn't changed me. It doesn't make me feel like of a woman. My sex has drive. Nothing has changed for me. This is me. Again, I'm of a younger age. So again, some of older age getting it done. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe 10 years from now, I might see not how, not having a uterus may affect me years from now. Hopefully not. But for Candiace to say that, especially the situation you're going, again, you're dealing with your husband, trying to have kids.
Yeah.
This is not a place. This is not a time. I would not throw that at Giselle. Maybe something else. Talk about not having a man. She talked about Giselle's box again. Dried up box, whatever. I don't think it was appropriate.
Yeah, I just think there's so many reasons why it was inappropriate. And like you said, and I said a lot, I think she's going to get a lot of backlash because of that. Yeah.
But she was so angry, and this cancel culture, social media thing, I feel like if I was on a reality show, I would have been canceled a long time. Because I would have, because I would not think of what I'm saying. I would say very inappropriate stuff. I probably would have said the same thing to Giselle. But who knows? Even if I had my hysterectomy, I would have. I don't know. When you're so upset, you don't know what you're gonna say. And after you'd be like, "Oh shoot, I said that, Lord, they're gonna cancel me." Oh, Andy, can you edit that?
Yeah.
Certain things are, please edit. I need my businesses. Please, you're probably begging Andy to edit certain things that you say. So I think Candiace is one of those people, she doesn't think. She's very vicious with her mouth. She says what she feels and thinks, and then she's going to probably have to deal with the consequences of that. I mean, I don't think they're going to cancel, but Candiace has said very mean things before in the past. She has,
but I think a lot of times people, sometimes they just, enough is enough, where, who knows? Like, I don't know how much, like, backlash she may get from this. We don't know, but I do think she is going to get some. It was a careless comment.
It was, but I don't think it was bad enough where she's going to be canceled or it's going to be a whole big thing. I think the only people that's probably going to be highly offended is probably women who had hysterectomies or had other women be like, they may not care as much. So it went on to Wendy saying, Wendy jumped in to agree with Candiace and have Candiace's back, and saying Giselle has a pattern talk about women's husband when the cameras are on. I mean, it's a fact. She did it about.
That's what I'm saying. I agree. And Giselle even kind of like agreed to, and she was like, no, actually, I think I'm very smart. And I do think Giselle does have an agenda, and it's kind of like to do key. And I think Candiace is right. Like, she's trying to keep the paychecks coming in and getting like, but Giselle's not being that smart about it. Like, you got to sometimes like leave some storylines alone. Know how to multitask these storylines. Like, focus on yourself. Also, if you want to go at Candiace, her husband, you felt uncomfortable if it's a real legitimate story, bring that storyline too, but also bring storylines about yourself and kind of like, have a balance. I just think that Giselle and Robyn do not have a balance. You can't keep attacking them, and you're showing nothing about yourself. Like, so I just think Giselle is not being smart about it. Like, she thinks she's the, Giselle Kobe Bryant of the whole cast, and she's being dumb about carrying that position. She's not being smart.
Giselle's position is everyone else is her storyline. She don't have a story. I mean, if you think about it, what the hell did Giselle do but carry bones and start drama? And she said this one said this. That's what she does. We don't really know much of what's going on in Giselle's life, except for she could have had a history. Karen is another one. This season, what the hell we know about what's going on in Karen's life?
That's what I'm saying. I just think a lot of them are keeping their real story, their real reality hidden. And that's what is making this season a failure. It's like, now that we finding out that, we finding out about their real lives behind the scenes. So these are all lost storylines that should have been brought to this reality show that they're getting paid for. I think like the cast needs to be shaken up. Like Andy needs to do something about this, because he needs to set an example and a precedent to let people know, like, this is not going to be a trend. I'm gonna let you all know what time it is and what could happen when y'all want to just make up storylines and keep the real reality hidden, and then go on pay, like Andy said, go behind a paywall, your own paywall, and try to get your own money outside of the money I'm providing you. Oh no, Andy needs to set the tone for the next people that try this.
Because now he's gonna have an issue, because if people decide to do that, they're gonna be like, well, Robyn did it, and people are gonna do it. So then he was not gonna be able to find the next person that does it.
I think Robyn's gonna cause a little shakeup within the Bravo house, because a lot of them have their own podcast, and they're trying to, Patreon is the new thing now, where you can get money now to have, to get people to subscribe. So what Giselle and Robyn did was like basically tell the real reality behind, a paywall, which was Patreon. So they making their own money and making Bravo money. So Andy has to do something to let these housewives know this is not acceptable.
I think he definitely needs to fight Robyn, and I think the show will be better without Robyn, because Giselle won't have a backup. So let's see Giselle stand on her own, and let's see. I think Robyn, we could get away with Robyn. We don't need Robyn now. We know she married one. Goodbye. I think Giselle should come back this season. Mia gave us more into her life than the rest. I think Mia did a good job, because she had a friend, Jacqueline. We saw that Ashley definitely gave her whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Karen gave us nothing.
Yeah, Karen's lying too. I think Karen has a lot going on within her relationship. She's not bringing.
Robyn gave us nothing. Karen gave us. Giselle gave us nothing. Wendy gave us nothing.
Wendy don't have nothing to give.
Wendy has nothing going on in her life. So I think a couple of people needs to go. I like Karen. I don't want her to go. Wendy needs to go. Mia could.
That whole cast needs to be revamped. Andy needs to do something. I know you're watching Andy, so you got to do something about this cast. Let these people know that they cannot get away with these little shenanigans that Robyn's pulling. He needs to do something about this whole cast. And Giselle, like, she was basically the person manipulating storylines to keep the real storylines that could have been had on the show hidden. Like, he needs to do something he needs to make people, there needs to be some repercussions.
Yeah, we bring people that have really real lives going on that we're interested in seeing. Like these people, I'm kind of bored with their lives. Nothing interesting is happening in their lives. Their lives are at a standstill. Nothing new is happening. Nothing else is going to happen between Karen and Ray. Nobody cares. Giselle, she's there to start drama. Wendy, no one cares. Nothing's happening in your life. I mean, I think Ashley needs to come back. We all want to know what's going on with Michael.
Yeah.
How's the divorce? Is she dating? How's single like? How's being a single mother? I'm not a fan of Ashley. I want to see. The other one, Candiace, your music career. What's going on?
I'm not interested.
I think everybody needs to go. I mean, leave Giselle and leave Ashley.
Yeah, I do. I think so too. The whole cast needs, majority of the cast needs to go. Andy needs to do something about that. They need to suffer
They
the.
need to keep Karen, and then everybody else needs to go.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. And what Candiace said about Giselle is she has a dwindling uterus. I had it written down. So that was it for the reunion, part 1 of Housewives of Potomac. Next week is part 2. I'm looking forward to seeing what else they decide to tell us. Is they're going to tell us any more tea? I think the first one gave us a lot. I don't think
I do
much more to hear, but we do have Charisse. And we have Mia's friend, Jacqueline, who's coming out, and she seems like she has a pad or a notebook or something in her hand.
Yeah, she's coming with receipts. We love receipts.
Yeah, Mia, let us know. Was Jacqueline, let us know, was Mia really the CEO or was she the secretary that got fired? Let us know what her position was in those positions.
We're going to know.
Let us know. So,
and we're going to know Robyn's story too. They're going to, like I said, they're going to show the unedited version of Watch What Happens Live.
I want to see this.
Well, yeah, it was on the preview. They're going to show an unedited version of some of the clips from Watch What Happens Live that they didn't air last week. So we should be seeing something, like I said, maybe within that clip, he's going to fire her.
Oh, I didn't see it. They showed that today?
They showed it today for next week. They said that they're going to show some unedited versions that we didn't see of when he interviewed Robyn on Watch What Happens Live.
Ooh, I think I had turned the TV off at that point to get ready for this.
Yeah.
All right, so ladies and gents, if there's any gents watching, please stay tuned next week when we give you another recap of Potomac Reunion Part 2. Oh, and
don't forget to subscribe.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification button so when we go live. Follow us on TikTok, follow us on our Facebook page, and stay tuned. We'll be back in a couple of minutes so we can talk about New Jersey.
And we're going to put the link down below to subscribe and join our groups on Facebook and all that good stuff. And like you said, we're going to go live doing New Jersey Housewives. So let us know your commentary down below and join us in the chat.
Bye.
Bye. Toodles.